Long, long ago, back before Activision was swallowed up by Blizzard and was still a real company, there existed a game series. Some of you may even remember its name or heard it whispered in reverence as a classic of one of the first big home gaming consoles ever released, the Atari 2600. I'm referring, of course, to E.T. Okay, no. Obviously, I'm talking about Pitfall. It was a pretty simple game, as most were back in the day, but it did enough to capture people's interests and garner a few sequels. It was simple fun, if a bit unfair. But hey, it was the 70s, and people didn't have expectations on games like they do today. Fast forward about 30 years, and some genius game dev at Edge of Reality thought to themselves, hey, you know what would be a great idea? What if we made a new Pitfall game? That's popular, right? Great idea, Richard. All the kids love Pitfall. And then we can make a bunch of movie license games and shut down. And that is exactly what they did. Enter Pitfall, the Lost Expedition. So what is this game and why haven't you heard of it? Let me go into what I think qualifies this game as a hidden gem, a diamond in the rough, so to speak. Now obviously, to a more modern audience, they couldn't just make some arcade game about jumping over pits and expect much success out of it. These were the days of the PS2, the GameCube, and the Xbox, after all. Audience expectations had changed, and their vision had to change with it. Instead, the devs smartly veered more into an Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider-style adventure, but aimed more at a family audience. A Saturday morning cartoon version of Uncharted, if you will. Complete with talking animals and ancient curses. And of course, our charismatic protagonist himself, Harry.
Most people call me Pitfall Harry.
Right. It did relatively well with the reviews and reportedly sold decently, but it by no means could compete with Call of Duty or Halo or even a Sonic adventure. It was strictly B or C tier, only a step away from being an indie game, frankly. But enough about the background. What about the content of the game itself? Well, it all starts out somewhere over South America, with our boy Harry, Pitfall Harry, on a plane with a group of archaeologists on their way to some dig. Harry wastes no time in
turning on the charm.
But most everyone just assumes he's some weirdo and appropriately ignore him. Suddenly, a storm hits, and with only a few parachutes, it's up to Harry and this poor old guy to be the macho heroes or whatever and shove this lady out of a moving aircraft without letting her at least fasten the thing to her back. Because apparently being a guy makes you less likely to die in a plane crash. And also apparently women are better at equipping backpacks mid-air. Luckily our main man does indeed somehow survive and land deep in the jungle. And it's up to him to find and rescue as many survivors as he can before the jungle, or the locals, get to them first. In other words, it's exactly the kind of adventure to predicate your early 2000s platforming adventure on. Just, good luck trying to figure out what these locals' deal is. I'm pretty sure the devs just chucked a bunch of stuff they thought looked tribal together and called it a day. The crux of the gameplay is pretty much exactly what you'd expect from a game like this, exploring different areas of the vast locale, fighting off warriors and crazed monkeys, unlocking new abilities and tools to Metroidvania your way into previously blocked off areas, and of course, trying not to get eaten by those damn crocs. As a kid, I remember having a lot of fun with it, and the surprising diversity of the places you explore always makes it feel like you're really uncovering more than you first thought you would have expected, with Harry bumbling and screaming his way through the whole thing. There's ancient ruins full of statues to trade for upgrades, vast underground caverns with bats and rival expeditioners, snowy mountains that seem remarkably close to a human jungle and contain huge slides to ride down, and even cursed temples where animal spirits are trying to body snatch our poor boy Harry. Potentially living the rest of your life as a scorpion while it runs off with your body? Now that's nightmare fuel right there. Luckily, we always beat ourselves up and managed to steal it back, but still. Ugh. But Harry doesn't rely just on his wits, which is good, because he'd be pretty screwed if he did. Mostly, you'll be relying on his grab bag of tools he scavenges from all over the place to get yourself through the game. Stuff like his canteen to refill health, a slingshot to stun enemies, a gas mask, a shield, pickaxes to climb, all the way up to TNT. Now don't get too excited, the TNT comes late in the game, but man does it feel good to use on some of those early game pests. Though you'd think an archaeologist would want to be careful using explosives, considering he's trying to unearth all these ancient wonders and not blow them to smithereens. It's probably fine. It sets up a surprising amount of variety in a game you'd think would be pretty straightforward, especially from a series that wasn't really known for complexity. But of course, you're not alone out there as you make your way through the game, as there's plenty of surviving archaeologists to find throughout our little trek, and most of them are a pretty colorful bunch. Which is good, because otherwise Harry might get lonely out there and start going full Far Cry 3.
Did I ever tell you the definition?
You've got Bittenbinder, the old man who sets up a base camp and acts a bit as a mentor figure for Harry. He tends to splash some cold water of reality on our protagonist from time to time, which he desperately needs. You've got Nicole, our female lead, who seems to be following in her father's footsteps and is eternally unimpressed by Harry's foolishness. Plus, she's always biting back at his remarks with a few of her own. Which, fair. Harry can be a bit of a jerk.
Leave you? That's a great idea.
Come on, Harry, that's just rude. And there's Leech, of course, who's just... yeah. Anybody named Leech has to be a little bit crazy. Like, how does that thing even work? Forget it. Oh, and you've got this guy, too.
Me, I've got to fly.
No idea what his name was or where he went, so here's hoping he didn't immediately crash into a tree or something. But members of your plane crash aren't the only ones you'll encounter on your journey. Remember I mentioned talking animals? Well, this guy will be popping in all over the place, whether you like it or not.
Boing, 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 boing.
What are you doing?
Blessed with the power of speech, or some lingering brain damage Harry suffered from the crash. You decide. Luckily, he never stuck around long enough to annoy me, but if his scenes had gone on just a bit longer, I could see Harry using him as a shield for a spike trap or something. Oh, also, there's this guy, St. Clair. It wouldn't be a proper Indiana Jones-esque story without a rival band of foreign archaeologists trying to one-up the American hero, would it? It's practically a given. And he's about as inoffensive, yet somehow as scummy as they come.
Get us out of here, idiot! Now!
Using a local shaman as your lackey? For shame, vaguely French man. Even the local butterfly-obsessed Princess Mike, who Harry quote-unquote rescues, gets a spotlight.
I just wanted some butterflies.
Why?
Harry just thinks she's really hot, but she's clearly got the lion's share of the brains between the two of them, and ends up being central to the overall plot, even if she does speak in riddles.
My time is still to come, yet it's in the past.
It's a fun cast that follows you throughout the game, even in places that should have taken them days to reach, but you kinda handwave all that in favor of the fun and tongue-in-cheek vibe the game exudes. The plot isn't trying to take itself too seriously, and I think that's to its benefit. There are moments of drama, but that's mostly towards the end, where the danger is greatest and the stakes are highest, and when those moments arrive, they feel earned. It's a hard tightrope to balance, but the game manages to keep from face-planting with relative ease. It's by no means deep or philosophical or thought-provoking, but it's still an entertaining romp through an insane world that kept me engaged enough to reach the ending and feel satisfied. What more can you ask? Personally, when I hear people say they haven't heard of this one, I always feel a bit sad, because I think it deserves to be remembered for the good time it was by more than just a handful of people it managed to reach. Edge of reality might be gone now, but I'm glad they were able to create this hidden gem for us before they went. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Caleb for Fusspot Gaming, and if you like this video, don't be afraid to let us know by liking, subscribing, or leaving your thoughts down below. Or hey, if you've got a game you think is a hidden gem you think we might like to highlight, let us know that too. We always love to see little-known games get some love. See you next time.